G'day, my name is David and I love my gardening. Today is the 1st of May 2022 and I just wanted to do a video of what I've got in my veggie patch this autumn, coming winter in Melbourne, Australia. First thing you'll see is my weed matting. Can't live without my weed matting for my style of gardening. This suits me. I have short hours to put into the garden and pulling weeds is not what I want to spend my time doing. So this enables me to reduce my weeding by 98%. Makes veggie growing a pleasure instead of a chore. We planted last weekend a heap of brassicas. So in here we have Brussels sprouts. So we've got a couple of rows of Brussels sprouts. We've got cauliflowers in amongst the oxalis. So we've got some beautiful large white cauliflowers these are. One of the things I always get asked is, what are those little blue things? The blue things are a product called Basil, Slug, Snail and millipede bait. In Melbourne here we get Portuguese black millipedes by the thousands, and it is impossible to grow seedlings without putting something down to control the millipedes. They just come through in big waves. You can plant seedlings out like this one day and go out the next day and there'll be absolutely nothing left. The millipedes will swarm and eat them flat to the ground. And at the moment, there is only one product that works for millipedes, and it is Basil, Slug and Snail. And as I go around, I'll show you some of the hundreds of millipedes we've actually killed in the first week of having this product out. You'll see them curled up like that, and if you have a close look you'll see millipedes everywhere. Also snails and slugs have succumbed to this as well. So in order to get my plants out of the ground and established, the only way is with that product. It is a toxicant, has an active ingredient in it called methiocarbamate, which makes it quite different to other slug and snail products in the marketplace. All the other products in Australia are iron chelate or metaldehyde, and they work on the basis of desiccating or drying out a slug or snail once they eat the product. Unfortunately, if a slug or snail eats those products that have metaldehyde or iron chelate, if they can get back to somewhere cool, wet and damp, there's a high probability they won't die. So those products only have about a 60% mortality rate, whereas Basil, which is methiocarbamate is a carbamate, it's a poison toxicant. A slug, snail or millipede take a bite of it and they die. They don't desiccate. It's a nerve toxicant. You can see millipedes here. So it is toxic. It is toxic to dogs and cats. So if you have got dogs or cats, don't recommend using that Basil product. Anyway, enough with that. So we have red cabbages going great guns. So again, just everywhere you look you'll see millipedes here curled up, deceased and dead. It's the only way that we can grow our seedlings. Unfortunately, if I want to grow winter veg, I have to use a poison, which I'm not a fan of, but it's what we have to do. So we've got some red cabbages up this end. Through here we've got some more large white cauliflowers. Now for those who are observant, they'll be seeing the little name tags. I did buy seedlings. I bought them from Bunnings. I traditionally grow my own veggies from seed, but I started my winter crop late, and I was going to give the beds a rest during winter for spring, but we decided that we love eating our own fresh veg, so we've got it in the ground. Here we have some broccoletti. I'm not sure what broccoletti is. Never had broccoletti, first time growing that. So again, lots of dead millipedes. Broccoletti. I'm hoping that that is going to be something really nice. We've got here our artichokes. They just keep on growing, keep on doing their own things. Artichoke has a like a rhizome that grows underneath the ground, and these guys just keep on coming back. They're a perpetual thing. They'll grow. The plant will actually grow to 4 or 5 foot high up here and have multiple flowers on it. Once you've harvested the flowers and eaten those, absolutely amazing to eat, by the way. You can then cut the stems off, and they'll reshoot. You'll get 2, even 3 flushes. This will be the 3rd flush since spring. So these guys will produce artichoke. And in fact, we've got some down in another garden there which are ready to eat already. Spring onions in. I'm still harvesting chilies. We've got plenty of chilies that we're still harvesting. Some more of the red cabbage. Going to be eating a lot of cabbage. There's all sorts of cool things you can do with cabbage, in particular things like sauerkraut. Good way of preserving your winter crop. So we love our sauerkraut. Some more of the broccoletti. Again, as I said before, it's a new one for us, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. But the plants have kicked off nicely since we've planted them. Savoy cabbage up here. Got some, still got some beautiful basil. I just actually cut the tops of all of these basil to make up some bruschetta tonight, as well as drying some for preserving. These quite tall plants. These guys are good 4 foot high. These are my jalapenos. I've just harvested most of the jalapenos off of this. Yeah, it's 1st of May and I'm still picking jalapenos. Had a great crop this year, jalapenos. Right, what have we got here? We've got some turnips, a white turnip, and some more broccoletti. Still got spinach going. This is a large Ford hook variety of spinach. So this has been producing just consistently for the last 6 months. We just keep on harvesting that. Got in here some dill, some parsleys, some thyme over in the back there. Some more jalapenos. We said these guys are still producing, and it's May, so fantastic winter crop. Cabbage, we've got some sugarloaf in here, cabbage, and just a few of the last couple of seedlings that were left over in the punnets I've planted there. Also a big surprise for me this year has been my Purple King beans. We've had a massive crop. The days are definitely shorter. It's dark at 6 in the morning and it's dark at 5:30 in the afternoon. And my Purple King's a summer bean. This vine here, there's something in the ground that this particular position, this plant loves. I just picked half a pound of beans off of this, and it has just been a superb producer. Still getting beans off of it. Today's probably a top of about 15 degrees here in Melbourne, and my summer beans are still going. Amazing, fantastic. So that's my plantings in here in garden patch number 1. This autumn, spring. I'll quickly whip over to veggie patch number 2. Basically, we've cleared out patch number 2. I'm starting to prep that for spring, summer. I won't really put anything in here, but just to go through some of the things here. We've got some more of our Jerusalem artichokes, and as I mentioned, we even have that fella there is ready to be picked and enjoyed. We have more Jerusalem artichokes, heap of Ford Hook spinach, so no shortage of spinach. Got some spring onions still doing their thing, so I'll be enjoying those. And what I was doing just before I started this video is I was cleaning up my strawberry patch from last year. So this is a good time to cut off. I cut off about 2/3 of anything that's big. I take all the old leaves off, cut off all the runners. So just clean everything up. They were starting to get a little bit of fungus, a little bit of botrytis on the plants because it's a little bit damp and the days are shorter and cooler and wetter. You've got to watch out for your diseases, so it's a good time to cut your strawberries back if you've got strawberries in Victoria. Things like this. This is a runner where the plant throws out from the main plant smaller plants. So I actually will cut these up. I'll show you what I do with them. I'll actually cut these in sections, and I actually will take off most of the leaves like that and flower, and then I will transplant that into the ground, take off any funky growth, and that I will plant into the ground, and that'll be next year's strawberries. So I've got a heap of runners there I'm going to be transplanting. Anyone who is growing asparagus for the first time, or wonder what asparagus looks like when you let it go to fern, these are asparagus plants. This is my asparagus bed. So we eat asparagus for a good 6 to 8 months, and eventually we get sick of eating it every day, and we let it go to fern. So it forms these beautiful ferns. Yeah, this here is 8 foot high, it's way taller than myself. It will get seeds on it, but the ferns, you just leave them, you let the plant go to fern. The idea is the plant is now generating energy. In the ground here is what they call a crown. There's a root system, a rhizome in here, and the ferns are putting energy into the crowns, building up the roots and storing up energy to get the plant through winter. And then when spring comes around, it puts its energy into sending spears up, beautiful tasty spears. So you want to leave these ferns, if you've got asparagus, leave them until they basically die and go brown. I wait until it goes brown down to the stem. Once it's all died off, gone brown and dry, I cut all the ferns off at the ground, chuck that away into the compost. I'll put down a little bit of mulch on the top just to suppress the weeds. And then in late August, early September, the first spears will be thrown up and we'll be getting stuck into asparagus. So yeah, that's my veggie patch number 2. Thanks for watching, taking an interest. Please like and share, subscribe. It really helps out, and I enjoy my viewers. Thank you.